Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and today is a fantastic day to split some firewood. In addition to just splitting firewood, I want to do a controlled time test today because I've got this vertical commercial splitter and I've been talking about how much more I like it compared to my previous log splitter, and I really do think it makes my workflow a lot easier. But if anyone's thinking about buying any kind of a unit like this, the next question is, does it actually make your work faster? I know it's more convenient with the log lift and the fact I can stand upright with better posture, and it's easy to load off of the splitter into the basket. But today we're going to do a time test. Now, when I had my previous log splitter, which was your homeowner log splitter that's in that $1,000 to $1,200 range at a big box store like a Home Depot, that was a Champion 27-ton horizontal log splitter. I used that splitter to do a time test and find out how long it took me to split 1 cord of firewood. So now we have a baseline to compare off of, and I'm hoping to get a commercial horizontal splitter out here with a 6-way wedge and do a comparison on that as well. But right now we're testing 1 cord on this vertical splitter. There's a lot of different ways you can time this. I've done it where I took the amount of time from cutting the tree down to bucking it up and getting it over here all the way through and tried to tell how much I was making per hour. But there's too many variables in that. So for this type of time test, we're starting with already cut up rounds that are next to the splitter. And all we're doing is splitting. But we are splitting and stacking. I've seen some people say they could do a cord in like 7 minutes or something. And that's when you have a second person loading the back of it, you got a 6-way wedge, and it's just pushing it off onto a conveyor. We are starting with cut rounds, but we're finishing with stacked wood that I don't have to touch again. So I normally film this from down at ground level and up close so you can see the splitting action, but I've shown that angle so many times, and in this case I wanted to represent to the viewer what my workflow was like, how far I'm moving to get the rounds and to stack the wood, and just kind of how efficient my process is. You might have noticed right there that it took several tries to get that round to split. And that has never happened to me with this splitter before, but it happened a few times today. I didn't want to split it first, and I had to flip it 180 degrees and hit it again. But I don't know what species of wood this is. It didn't have any bark on it when I started. Now, if you're interested in getting a splitter like the one I'm using in this video, it's made by Power Split International, and I have a discount code that will save you 5% off ordering one of these. Now, most of the splitters they sell are larger than this. They've got a conveyor, they are self-propelled, where there's a little operator's seat and you can drive it over to your wood pile and the conveyor will load it straight into a dump truck or whatever else. I've got the absolute smallest unit they make, but it's still built with the same quality. But these are commercial splitters, so the baseline price on this unit here is $9,500. So when you're thinking about spending that much on a splitter, you want to give it a lot of thought. How much more efficient is this going to make it? How much easier is the work? How much wood do I actually split each year? And how many years will this last me? On that last question,
I can say I've been in contact with someone who's had one of these units and been using it for over 20 years with minimal repairs. I've got a couple of videos just going into detail about the splitter though, so if you're interested in those, you can check those out on the channel, and on YouTube I'll put a link to them on the screen at the end.
So last time I did this test, it took me 55 minutes to split one basket, which is a third of a cord. And a lot of that is just the slower cycle time and, fighting to get the logs up in the air. But I didn't really think there would be that much difference because it's still just a single wedge on a round. And when I do a test like this, I am not trying to hurry. It's never how fast can I do this. Say on a normal day with a normal amount of energy put into it, just working like I normally would, how long does it take? Because trying to race is just a way to get hurt, and it's not relevant. So when I did this with my other splitter, it was 55 minutes. With this one, it was 26 minutes. So it's a little under half. Now in the last test, I did 3 cords at 55 minutes apiece, and then I did 3 baskets, which is a full cord. At 55 minutes apiece, it took me 3 hours and 15 minutes. Factor in there's 20 minutes of taking this tote out of the way, putting another tote here, pushing more rounds up. So you can figure 20 more minutes added on. 26 minutes per basket. That would be 78 minutes for 3 baskets. Plus 20, we'll say 100 minutes. Be an hour and 40 minutes as opposed to 3 hours and 15 minutes to do a cord. So an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes is how long it takes to do one cord with this splitter. And of course, that is stacked. I never have to touch this wood again. Someone will come to pick this up and I will set the tote in the back of their truck, tell them bring me the tote back when you get time. And so if yours is twice that fast, say you can split that with your 6-way wedge on your horizontal splitter, and you could do that in 10 minutes instead of 26, you still have to count the time to come back and stack it. And I think there's a lot more hassle in stacking this off the ground after it falls out, and it might need resplit, or my time includes resplit and stacking. So I don't think that's too bad. Biggest thing about this splitter is, for me, I enjoy using it. I did not really enjoy using my other splitter just because of the hassle of getting a big round up there, and then once you split it, you're dealing with these big pieces and you have to put it back down, and it's just more of a fight dealing with the actual splitting. I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.